bananas and rice. The interview that you didn't see.
In the halls where the whispers gather, conservative minds debate the future. From tax cuts to border walls, strategies clash like a political rally. Frustration brews in the chambers. As always, meet new challenges. Dissenting voices rise up, seeking unity, but finding divides. We stand strong, we stand tall. In this party, our spirit will not fall. The path is rocky and long. We march forward with hearts full of song. Policies debated, votes cast. In the shadows, some doubts are fast. Yet the fire of conviction burns bright. Feeling hope making the dark night light.
All right, we are here for Rebel Republic, the best political talk show in all of New York, in all of Massachusetts, Connecticut, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Rhode Island, Delaware, New Jersey. It doesn't matter. You're either with us or you're against us. And with me, as always, the voice of reason himself. Frank Giuliano.
I hear you whispering.
I'm not whispering. I'm talking.
You out of breath?
I'm in a menacing
Good to
voice.
see you back in action after a long disappearance into the abyss.
That's menacing.
It's very menacing.
You couldn't scare a butterfly with that voice.
It's very menacing. It scares a lot of people. And Coach Schumann, who's ready to go. Let's go.
It's good to see you out of the abyss, Steve.
Yes. The abyss was delightful. I
It was
can't wait
delightful.
to go back. Yeah, I can't wait to go back soon.
You can't wait to go back.
Yeah, I can't.
He
wait
was
to
in
go
that
back.
submarine that was crunched. It was just he was just ready to get squeezed, and then he popped out.
Was it
He
a yellow
escaped.
submarine?
Yes, the yellow submarine is correct.
I watched the documentary on the Titan, and it was very
Great
sad.
documentary, by the
I
way.
don't like the reference to that.
That's some
Okay.
good bloodlines.
Yeah, that is good bloodlines. That is how wealth can get you into trouble.
Get
We
your
are breaking.
bug.
We have breaking news. The plan to end the government shutdown survives key House hurdles after Trump quells GOP rebellion threats. Nearly 14,000 air traffic controllers are poised to work without getting paid until the shutdown ends. The Senate's compromise to end the ongoing partial government shutdown survived an important hurdle Monday night, teeing up the legislation for a vote in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. The House Rules Committee, the final gatekeeper before most bills get a chamber-wide vote, advanced to the upper chamber's deal with the White House with little internal discord among Republicans on the panel. However, this could face issues on the House floor during the second procedural hurdle called rule vote, which needs a simple majority of lawmakers to unlock, debate, and vote on final passage. Frank, what are your thoughts on this partial government shutdown?
Steve, it's incredible what's going on in the government.
Yes.
It's not a good thing for the United States right now.
No, it's awful.
Am I sounding menacing?
I'm thinking of going on some ASMR, the Korean massages after this.
Oh, I'd be in on that.
Yeah.
I would be in on that.
Yeah, I like you.
The government, listen, there's a couple of rebellious House of Rep Republicans out there. They're actually pushing a bill to have voter ID. So it has to be mandatory to vote. You need ID.
Which Jimmy talked about last week.
Which is totally correct on pushing that. The problem is don't push it now because we need to get this thing passed. Bring it up as a separate bill. They want to attach this to this bill or to the funding bill, which is not a good move because you're not going to get total approval on it. And right now, we've got to get it passed through. People got to get paid. This government shutdown stuff is garbage. All it does is hurt the average citizen. It doesn't hurt the ones that are doing the voting.
No, they get paid
So
throughout the whole thing.
it's another farce, another hurdle, another thing for people to stand up and cry and talk about how bad things are and how awful this government is and how everything's going wrong. And it's incredible how people can't cope. Yeah,
we struggle.
Is it
very sensitive?
Are we perfect in what we do, no matter if it's Republican or Democratic-led administration? No.
Speak for yourself.
No, we're not. We're not perfect in what we do. There's always mistakes, but you got to be able to outweigh some mistakes with a lot of positive action. The problem is they can't. That the left side can't see any positive action at all from Donald Trump because they just hate Trump. So that's all.
That's all it comes down to is the hatred of one person. Dave, what are your thoughts on the government shutdown?
I hate it.
I can't believe we're still talking about it as we're into February. How has this not been solved yet?
I don't know. I mean, the Democrats. That's my answer.
Yeah, I mean,
you always blame the Democrats, Dave.
Well, the
Senate for everything.
The Senate Democrats walked away from the deal because of they're protesting the funding for the Department of Homeland Security after federal law enforcement shot and killed a second U.S. citizen during anti-immigration and customs enforcement, basically ICE demonstrations in Minneapolis. And Trump responded by removing Customs and Border Protection, whose agents shot the second person from the Midwest city, and replacing senior officials leading the crackdown there. Now, if you watch the videos, Frank, it looks to me like the ICE agents are in pure hell. Like it's hell on earth. They're getting things thrown at them. They're getting screamed at. It's not safe at all. Like, what do you expect?
That's why there's 12 agents at a time or 20 agents at a time instead of 2 or 4 who are trying to apprehend who they have on a list. Yeah, the working environment is not a working environment anymore, and it's done on purpose, and it's spread to many a liberal city around this country. People feel that they're doing the right thing by doing this, but what they're realizing is there are going to be mistakes in taking people. Yes, once they are cleared and they're a U.S. citizen, then they're fine. They're not going to be deported or put in prison. I think the one failure is that illegals that are picked up and have committed no physical crime, shall we say, but just came across the border illegally, which is a crime, even if it's a misdemeanor. Once you have that misdemeanor, you go to prison and you're in jail. It's a crime. So, but the ones that have been picked up and haven't had any, illegal activity, those are the ones that people are basically standing up for. I don't think any of these people are running through the streets saying we've got to protect the rapists and the murderers. But I think that they just don't like these guys pulling up in a Toyota, a Camry, with 4 guys coming out of the car, covered faces, and just grabbing people, which I understand. So that can be done on a negotiating table. That is where I think Trump will meet any Democratic lawmakers in the middle, and will say, we'll do some readjustments to how ICE proceeds, but you got to give us a guarantee that the agencies in the city and the state work together with us. Because right now, if you're looking at Minnesota,
they're just staying out of it.
They're not working at all. Dave, in Minnesota right now, okay, these protesters have set up checkpoints. And as you approach the checkpoint, they have a blockade. You can't pass through the road. They come up to your car and they ask you for identification. And then they follow a list of identifiable license plates that someone has dug up and said that they may possibly be ICE related plates. They may be ICE members in that vehicle that's driving through. They're literally conducting road blockades in that city, okay, and asking for identification documentation. And they are not law enforcement officers. Where is the police in Minnesota?
Citizens arrest.
Oh, there's no citizens arrest.
No, that blows my mind. And Dave,
I think the police in Minnesota have
they've abandoned everyone.
they're basically staying out of all this.
They've been told to stand down. That's what it is. It goes back to leadership.
Let them protest.
Goes back to your mayor and it goes back to your governor. You have no leadership.
Yeah. And Dave, it's people interfering. Once they see ICE in action, someone will get out and ask what's going on and try to interfere and get involved. And that's what causes the problems. And that's why I said last week, if someone was pulled over on the road, would you stop and pull over and go ask the officer, hey, what are you doing over there? Why are you writing him a ticket? Is it legal? I mean, I think that's the biggest problem is the interference.
Oh, well, it's a major problem. I mean, look, there's two things. One, I think ICE needs to focus on criminals. Okay. That will calm for the most part, some of this. Okay, not all of it. The people who are against Trump are going to be against Trump. I get it. But if that is done, I think we put ourselves in a better situation to be able to explain away some of these situations, right? When you get into an issue that you're focusing on the criminals. Obviously I've always been firm on I don't believe someone should be here if they're here illegally, but I think the process should 100% be focused there. And the second thing is the protesters, whatever you want to call them, agitators. I see videos of them. Someone wants to, they're like enforcing law so they could protest on other people. Like I've seen things where they're like, we're security. Security for what? Like they're, wait a minute. I thought you guys don't believe in police state, but they want a police state on everybody else. They're complete hypocrites. The word D means demise of America, not Democrat. The word D means demon. That's what the Democrats are. So that's what it is to me. I know people hate that I say that, and but I just don't. I feel like the ICE could focus in that area. That would be a much better beginning solution to calm things down. I think the agitators are not going to stop regardless of what happens. So really, that's not going to, that's just more of a PR thing than anything. But, the bottom line is we have a rebellion in Minnesota on hands against America. And it's hilarious that these are the same people that were saying that Trump was inciting an insurrection. What the fuck do they think that they're doing?
They're saving democracy, Dave. They're saving democracy.
When they do it, it's saving democracy. Yeah.
Yes.
And ruining their own city, which blows my mind.
They don't care about that city. That city's been blown up 5 times in the last 6 years.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly.
No, it's just ridiculous.
As the girls used to say in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Hey, before you go on, Walz is not going to run for re-election. The Leering Center has closed, Dave. I don't know if you know that or not.
Oh, the Leering Center is closed.
The Leering Center has closed as of mid-January. They packed it up. They put the U-Haul moving vans there. They filtered $4 million in the last 2 years from state and federal agencies that support the daycare centers. But they said they have to close now because they cannot afford to pay the utilities. They can't pay the gas and electric. But the $4 million they filtered somehow is not in the coffers.
So they pulled it off. They pulled off the heist.
They did. They did. I would start freezing Somali passports to leave the country. I'd like to be able to freeze and keep everybody in here because I think this is the most frustrating thing out of all of this. Since politics have begun, is no one gets prosecuted. We've had hearing after hearing after hearing. I have sat through Jeffrey Epstein. I have sat through governors. I have sat through senators. I've sat through Jim Jordan being he's a child, he's a rapist. I've sat through the Donald Trump. I sat through everybody. Bill and Hillary Clinton are coming out now. They decided that they are going to go in for the hearing
Yes.
to be able to tell their side or take interviews, but nothing will happen to these people. Nothing ever happens. The American public is tired of it. We are tired of it. We want headlines. We want heads to roll. We want to see people in jail. We want to see people accountable for their actions that they
Consequences.
pull against the American citizens and the American pocketbook, because it's ridiculous what's been going on these last maybe 20, 25 years.
Yeah, and people always find a way to take advantage of the system and the resources.
Sure they do.
And the people who need it most don't get it.
But that's because it's out there. It's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why people I think it's changed. It's not to have a better quality of life why people come here, immigrants come here now. They come here to just scam the system. Scam the system. I can get medical coverage for nothing. I can get a check sent to my house for nothing. I get free rent. They're going to give me cell phones. I get food vouchers. I'm going to get medical coverage. I'm going to get California. Wait till you see the numbers that are coming out of California now as far as the billions and billions of dollars that have gone to illegal people, illegal immigrants that have come to this country on medical coverage.
Oh, no, I did see that.
On medical coverage.
I did see the money we spent.
Right. I mean literally,
On illegals.
and all the fraud, all that fraud is concentrated in like 2 counties in California. I mean, it's insane. There's got to be
Countrywide, the money spent was outrageous.
There must be a Leering Center in California that teaches people how to do these frauds, because it's amazing how many people have joined onto the scam.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's a scam. It's just if people go to get medical coverage, you're not allowed to refuse treatment.
You don't have to pay. The state is not obliged to pay for that if they are not a citizen.
No, they're not supposed to pay for it.
Exactly.
But if the people leave them with the bill and they have no way to pay for it,
they can't get treatment in the first place.
So you would not treat them
if you have no medical coverage.
You come in with a gunshot wound and I get no coverage.
How am I going to help you? How am I going to help you?
But the law says that you're not allowed to do that.
I don't care what the law says. You're an illegal. You've come across the border legally. I don't know who you are. I don't know who shot you. I don't know what happened. I don't know nothing about you. But you want me to come in and treat you and then have the state pay for it? Nah.
Dave, what are your thoughts on this?
With respect to what?
The medical bills for illegals. You know, we're spending billions of dollars, and they said 2 counties in California, and I saw throughout the country, it's humongous what we're spending, and it goes to cover illegals. It's never paid back.
Absolutely absurd.
Yeah,
absolutely absurd. I mean, I don't see why we're continuing to pay for illegals. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand it. It really doesn't make sense to me.
If you're not documented, you're not registered, you don't have a work visa, you don't have a tourist visa, you don't have if we don't know who the hell you are, and we can't trace you anywhere in this country, how are we supposed to pay for you?
Yeah.
How are we supposed to register yourself?
Yeah.
Come in and go through the normal process like everyone else has to go. It's insane. It's insane, and there's so much money in this country. We don't even know how much money there is, because it just gets shoveled out the door and into the furnace and gets burned on not just illegals, and citizens scamming.
There's all kinds of scams going on.
Right, but if these programs weren't available,
I got to figure one out.
If these programs were regulated better, right? They want all these federal who's regulating what? Nobody's regulating anything.
No.
If there was a better way to regulate it and there were less available programs, there's a program for fucking everything, and that's the kind of stuff that's got to stop.
And the funniest part is the Somali program was uncovered by just a regular YouTube guy.
Well, they had, but there has been fraud in the daycare business,
of course,
in Minnesota all the way through for the last 6 or 7 years.
Right.
But
it's never been investigated.
Never been. Well, certain people have lost their license, but it's never been to the point where an entire community of people have assisted in this fraud.
Yeah.
The other frauds are usually someone running the center and getting away with some money, but from the Small Business Association or from the federal government that gives handouts down to the daycare centers or watching children or X amount of dollars for X amount of kids. You know, all that, that's fine. But you're talking and it's not just in Minneapolis.
No, it's
It's
the tip of the iceberg.
it's around the
Probably
it's
everywhere.
around the country within Somali communities. If you want to call me a racist or call me whatever you want, it's not. I'm just saying they learn from the best. They
Yeah.
learn from the best. They're smart.
I didn't think they were.
They come over here and they set up these daycare centers. They set up these medical centers. They set up these transportation centers, and they report numbers that are just not there. But
you can
why-
do that.
you can do whatever you want as long as no one checks you.
Oh,
Why is no one checking these people?
yeah.
Why is the government? How can the government
They
hand
just
out?
let it
money?
go.
I can tell you just from my dealings with the Small Business Association, from my they keep sending me letters, and I paid them $15,000 this year back towards my EIDL, and they're like, "You haven't paid us." I said, "Here's the actual all the payments." Like, dude, no one responds.
Right.
They keep sending me, just send it to us again.
Just send it to us again.
I've been doing this for 6 months.
Well, they're going to say, "Oh, it's because Trump cut government agents, cut government workers." And now there's a
Is
bullshit.
there a worker there? I mean, is
Bullshit.
there someone doing something? The
Bullshit. They're
problem
there.
is these workers are in rebellion against the administration. They won't do shit.
But
So
that's crazy.
yeah,
That this has been going on for 6 months, and they keep contacting you, and you paid it, and it doesn't
Paid it.
matter.
like they haven't taken my money down. Like it should be the amount. So not only are they tacking on, you know what I'm saying? It's just a horrible system. I'm actually going to call Trump. And
Yeah.
be like,
I'm gonna
like-
write a letter.
I'm going to write a letter to Trump and be like, "Hey, like I'm going to show you exactly what's going on with your Small Business Administration. Like, put me in charge of that fucking thing. I'll get that thing fixed.
Right.
Like,
Right.
give me a
I
I
break,
totally
dude.
agree.
It's not
It-
hard.
It's
This
it's,
stuff
it's
is not
embarrassing.
Do
hard.
you have to deal with the same thing?
I have a loan from COVID. I have
Well,
$112,000
the Small
loan. I think.
Business Association thing.
Yeah,
that you-
mine is just set up where it's an auto deduct
Oh.
every month. They take out extra, like I think I pay $1,200 a month,
okay.
and it's auto deduct, and I got to pay it for like I don't know 10 years or whatever the hell it is.
10 years.
I'm auto deducted. They're not taking it off my thing.
Right, right.
Jesus,
It's
that's
insane.
crazy.
It's insane.
Insane. And then I message after message.
Yep.
And nobody
Don't send
responds.
another message until we respond. You never respond anyway.
No.
It's just unbelievable.
Now, but I have to say, I am going to, and this is actually as leftist as I'll ever get. Before Trump, they actually did have people who responded to me all the time. So I will
Right.
see that.
Maybe they are because they cut so many people off. But I
Yeah.
don't
They
know.
may have, but
Okay,
they had people that responded to me all the time, and they would write me back, and we'll fix this, and if there's something going on, you know. So, again, this is, you know, there's a lot of battles that has to be won, and there's some of these things are not always like the same issue I have with like healthcare as a whole, which is probably my view on this is almost as leftist as I would get to, in a sense that I do think healthcare has to become more affordable for the masses. Okay.
Very much so.
Now,
Yeah.
Obamacare destroyed healthcare. Like, well, I'll say it finished it off. I'm not saying it wasn't. It was already in trouble. Obamacare just kind of finished it off, but there's no solutions there. So, like, as a Republican, there's certain things I'd like to see. Like, Small Business Association is a lifeline for a lot of small businesses. Okay, that it's okay if you want to cut the fat there, but the service should still be as good. Healthcare, we have to figure out a solution for it. Just to throw our hands up and blame everything on Obamacare is not a solution. So we have to figure out a solution for that. On the flip side, all these other things distract, from us being able to get other things done. So, the Democrat playbook is just to create all these distractions and cause all these issues. But there's a lot of issues that, homegrown that have to get taken care of that I would like to see. With the government shutdown, it's impossible, right? So what are we getting done? That's probably why nobody gets back to me in the Small Business Administration, because of the government shutdown. So like these are things that are like, like I don't understand.
It's just critical for the world for our country to survive.
More like Frank. Like, even though I'm a Republican, I'm starting to become more like Frank. Like, all these fuckers in the government, like, what the fuck are they doing, dude?
They just make money. They just get rich.
They're there to come in paupers and come out millionaires. That's it. They are there to pass the buck. There's a couple guys that I think are good. That was it Chris Roy or Chip Roy there from Texas or wherever he's from. I think he's genuine in what he says as far as what he's trying to get past. Most of the rest of them are just garbage. They're just, you can tell when they talk. If I got to hear
it's all
Hawley again from Missouri and the Jim Jordan, it's just the same blah 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 blah. This then liberal and Democrat. Give me solutions. Give me and policy. Give me solutions and policy that can set me up better. This health. You talk about healthcare. I got a simple solution for healthcare.
No, you said it.
Tariff money, throw it all into healthcare. Yeah. Doge savings, throw all the Doge savings into healthcare. You've got massive corporations, large corporations that offer medical coverage to their employees. Instead of to the employees, dump it into the general fund for healthcare. Okay, you'll have over $1 trillion just right there, easy. After that, maybe it's a small tax on every person as far as for coverage for healthcare, and then maybe there is a tax, some kind of whether it's a state tax or federal tax, come up and tax a little bit like that. You want to tax me more on my paycheck? That's fine, but I'll throw it all in there. I don't know how many trillions you need, two point something trillion you need to cover coverage for all. It should be coverage for all, and every year you find that money and you appropriate it before you do anything else. If you guys can't get that shit done, you're going to lose your jobs. That's the one thing. If the budget's not passed, these guys should be fired. Give me new guys in there right now. There's got to be, and they'll never do that. They'll never do. They'll never do.
House cleaning,
how many? What do they call that? Tenure or whatever they call it over there. Where they go, there's too long. They want term limits. Never going to do term limits. Why would they want to do term limits? They make millions of dollars every year. Yeah. How does Ilhan Omar? And I know everyone's picking on her and all that because of the vinegar they got doused on her. How does Ilhan Omar go from 0 to 30 million? Okay, and now it's 44 million, 0 to 44 million in like 5 years.
She's just a great investor.
No, it's not. And her husband, and I don't care. You can talk about her husband all they went. He's got a winery in California. Go look at the winery.
There's nothing there. Okay.
There's nothing there. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. So how is this happening? And how does it happens because there are tons of companies that have so much money and so much vested interest in votes. They're third partying the money back to these people into their accounts.
Yes.
They're just laundering money for votes.
That's how they do it.
And it's gotten to be obscene now because we have the information, we see the information, and still we can't get anything done. You know what I mean? We can't get anything done as far as putting these people away. So
no.
What are we doing? What
are we doing? We're self-destructing, Frank.
Well,
every day we're self-destructing.
I don't even know if that's it. I don't even know if it's self-destruction.
I think it is.
We're eating ourselves from the inside.
That's self-destruction.
Well, it isn't. It isn't. It isn't. That's self-mutilation.
We're stupid people.
We're never going to die. We're never going to die, but we're going to chew ourselves so we look really bad. Okay.
Yeah, we're a laughing stock.
And so I mean, there's to me, there's simple solutions out there. And there's nobody sitting down talking about this because they're all worried about this vote,
the boat.
This vote, that vote.
Yeah.
This company doesn't like it. That company doesn't like it. I mean, who's the guy? Dell, the Dell family. They gave $6.4 billion to start the program of $1,000 for every newborn child in this country.
Oh, that was nice.
I mean, that's a smart thing. That's a smart thing.
Well, I don't think so.
Why not?
Because it's going to cause more ratchets to pop out crotch fruits.
No. God almighty.
That's what they do.
But it doesn't matter. Everyone needs a good start in life. If you have shitty parenthood.
So I graduated from college. Give me $1,000.
No, because you'll just go smoke it away on something. This is going into account, and they can't touch it till they're 18. And if the parents are smart, they could throw $20 a week in there as well. They don't have to throw a lot. They could throw a little bit in there, and they build up their son or daughter's account. And at 18 years old, they are allowed to take it out and do whatever they want with it. Maybe they want to maybe that account grows from $1,000 with accrued interest into like maybe 50,000 over the 18 years, okay, or 100,000. Now they could take that out to start a small business. They could take that out to pay loans. They could buy a house with it. You're giving a child a sound foundation as they come into adulthood.
Yeah,
that's a smart. Holy shit! But you know why? Because the guy donated $6.4 billion. That's why it started. If not, no one's going to give up that kind of money, right? So, but there's ways where these large corporations and billionaires will donate the money. They will put the money in. There are ways that they can contribute to this. We need a panel to sit down and get this shit done, because you can't go without coverage. People can't, as bad as Obamacare was, because the government had to really subsidize the whole damn thing. It was a great thing because people had a rock taken off of their back because they couldn't get normal coverage, and they were refused coverage in the past because of some kind of an illness. Now you couldn't refuse anybody.
Well, pre-existing.
You know what I mean? That's a big thing. So Dave, there's got to be ways we can work this shit out.
Dave, there's been major cuts and changes to Medicaid, the Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act, marketplaces, and SNAP is now underway with projections of millions losing coverage or benefits. What do you think that these changes are doing to harm vulnerable Americans, and where do you see the outcome going?
Say it again.
There's already been major cuts to Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act. Now SNAP is underway. Projections, they're going to cut millions. Or millions of people are losing coverage or benefits. What do you think? What concerns and changes that these changes are going to have to harming vulnerable people, Americans, and what do you think the outcome is going to be? Because all these changes are going to really influence the most vulnerable people in our country the most.
Do
you think that we'll snap out of it? I don't
know if we'll snap out of it. I don't know, dude. I don't really understand the SNAP program that well. I think as a whole, one of the things that that I have an issue with is the fact that there's so much, corruption within each one of these programs. I don't know how you get to figure out what is good and what isn't, and what is, legit and what isn't. There's a lot of I don't know how you fix some of these things, but I think cutting it to people that are in need of these kind of programs. I'm not talking about people that are scamming a system or whatever. I don't agree with that. Like, I don't agree with cutting programs to people that are in need of things. Okay?
Exactly.
That's not the answer. That's not the answer. Now cutting the fat out of programs, yes. Cutting unnecessary number of people working on the same project, sure, maybe. But cutting the programs that help people, I don't see those things. So there's certain things that I think are just, again, the juice isn't worth the squeeze on some of these things. And with all the things that are coming with like AI and all these, I think we have to start to figure out like how we're going to support people who are going to need it, how we're going to, which is going to be a lot of people. Okay. A lot of people are going to be displaced. how we could train people that so they can learn how to not be on these systems for an extensive period of times. And we have to be able to create create a capitalistic environment that fosters the opportunity of jobs. And this is why one of the things, the issues I do have with this, you have to figure out what is the lifeblood of things in America. Is it big corporations running everything? I don't think so.
No, it's small businesses.
You need enough small businesses, okay, to be successful, to have the resources, to be able to get money where they need money, okay. Stop over. If we're going to spend money and throw away money, that's a good place to throw away money if it's for the right reasons, because there are people that are legitimately starting businesses the right way. Those people should be rewarded and should get opportunity and
should get tax breaks. Yes.
Yes. If Frank ran on lean times but he's trying to retool his business, let's say, he should be able to get money easily from the Fed. This is where you should be able to. You shouldn't have to go only to the private sector from that standpoint. When people say, what are government functions that are necessary? Police, fire, support of small businesses, support of people that are in dire need. Those are some of the basic things. Healthcare, which I used to really be, I think Obamacare forced us into a certain situation. I don't know. I don't think government healthcare is the answer. The answer is figuring out how government can help private industry to be able to create more competition in the marketplace so that we can get more innovation, so we get more services. All that's happening in healthcare is this group buys out this group, and then the prices go up. And as soon as these things become more and more monopolies, we start to get into a situation where healthcare is less, insurance companies control it, they're all in cahoots with each other.
Yeah, they all want to make you sick, and they're happy for it.
I'm not saying I'm not going to go that far, but I'm just saying that managed care is the big deal, managing your care, okay? And it all goes through back and forth between insurance companies and these conglomerate groups that control healthcare.
I don't know how anybody can manage care. I went to the hospital. I told you around Christmas time. I had 2 CAT scans and an MRI. I stayed overnight in the emergency room. They released me the next day. They gave me some meds to vertigo. They gave me some meds to fight the vertigo. I felt better. One day I was in the emergency room. 2 CAT scans and an X-ray and a X-ray or MRI. I'm sorry.
And the bill
$31,000. Right. So how I don't know what anyone could regulate. I don't know what even Trump is talking about, and these Republicans talk. You want to have a healthcare savings account, and you can be able to. What can I do with it? I can't. And I pay. And here's how I'm lucky. I pay $2,400 a month for family medical coverage.
Right. You have
absurd, Frank. That's an absurd amount of money.
Right.
3 people.
Right. So I pay $30,000 a year for medical coverage.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm lucky I can't afford it. I'm teeter-tottering month to month sometimes. I can, but at $30,000, because if I don't pay that, I don't have a plan that's really any good. I have a plan that has a shitload of deductible money. I got to pay it through the nose, man, have a $20,000, $30,000 deductible before you ever start getting any kind of coverage. The plan that I have, that $31,000 bill, I got to pay $75.
And there's other plans out of state that are affordable.
But who can afford? I mean, the coverage is for my family. So my wife and my son are on this. Who can afford $2,400 a month?
That's a mortgage.
Right.
It's crazy.
People can't afford that.
No.
So they're going to get less in coverage because the medical companies
or not get coverage at all.
Or not coverage at all. They're going to less in coverage, and they're going to be stuck with thousands of dollars in bills.
And that's why we end up paying for it.
So this has to be a concerted effort by all sides. It's got to be insurance companies, it's got to be hospitals, it's got to be doctors, medical providers, instrument providers, pharmacies for pharmaceutical stuff. It has to be a whole conglomerate meeting where everyone can sort of hash us out in a room and figure, okay, here's what we can do. Here's how I can do this. And we can still all make a little bit of money. We can still, but healthcare, you can't mess around with healthcare.
No, it's people's lives.
I mean,
living, you live or die.
On one part, they're making meds to keep us alive longer. They're creating medical procedures to keep us alive longer, but they're only keeping us alive longer so we can pay the damn bill. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
You're 100% right. 100% right. That's the problem. I don't understand. Well, I do understand, but like I just think that there's no effort to try to solve.
There's no sense of urgency at all, and it's bullshit.
I mean, listen, these are all separate silos, okay? These are not things that have to be tackled and wait for ICE to do their job. These things all should be getting tackled right now. So this is my only issue is like some of these, we're not getting into a solution. There's plenty of technology out here to now start to have certain things to be able to come to fruition for people healthcare wise. These other countries in Europe are a mess as far as infrastructurally, but some of them have better healthcare innovations. How is it possible?
The tax rate is crazy, Dave. The tax rate's at a 45% clip, if not 55% clip in some of the Scandinavian countries. So if we want medical coverage, then we have to realize we got to give up shit. But they also have free schooling. They have
school tax.
There are free colleges. There are many free colleges. Some do have to pay for colleges. I know in Italy they have to pay, but a lot of the other countries with the higher tax rate, they don't have to pay for college. They don't have to pay for medical care. You know, it's more of it is what it is. What you got to give up something to get something. I understand that, but we're pricing ourselves out of everything. It's insane, and I don't know how it stops. And I think really here's the problem. We got 3 more years left. And after that, there's not going to be any more negotiating power. Once Trump is out of office and he's gone, okay, he's the only guy right now that can pick up a phone, talk to a billionaire straight in the face and understand each other. They can talk to each other because he's a billionaire. So he knows all these people. Anytime he goes to he knows that company. I've talked to that guy. I've talked to this guy. I know this casino owner. I know this guy over here. He's the only guy that those people have respect to sit at the table. You're going to sit at a table with Joe Biden and a bunch of thieving Democrats that all they want is tax money. They're going to sit at a table with another Republican, a young J.D. Vance, maybe. Yeah. They're not going to sit at a table with J.D. Vance. They're not going to respect him at all.
No,
Marco Rubio, they're not going to respect him. But they're going to sit at a table with Trump. He's no matter you hate him or you like him, he's doing more shit. I think when in 20 years, we're going to look back in history, the man's going to be gone, and we're going to say, you know what? Fucking guy was almost right on everything.
He was the best. He's going to be the best president of our generation.
He was almost right on everything. He got this deal done. He squeezed Iran and changed that. Cuba changed down is not going to be a socialist or communist.
All those things are great.
Venezuela, right? So and it done the deals.
But we got to take care of what's going on.
We got possession of Greenland to do what we need to do up in the north. You know what? We're working here. Saudi Arabia is on good terms with us right now. Qatar is on good terms with us right now. UAE is on great terms with us right now. Yeah. Israel's not being attacked anymore. People can leave there peacefully. Syria has independent government now. They're starting to come along. I mean, there's progress after progress after progress. And these
but
people,
not at home.
These people who have hemorrhoids about Trump, they just can't see anything that's going on in the big world picture. And is it big money? Yeah, it's big money. You know what? It's way out of our realm. It's big money. But big money only talks to big money.
Exactly.
Right? Okay. Very so true. That's why Trump gets flown in and gets a parade of horses and so that because big money only talks to big. That's all they respect. So that's okay.
He's respected.
I don't give a shit if it's greed or not, as long as it gets done and there are things that get done and trickle down to the people that need it. And so this is a 3-year window of opportunity they have for healthcare, they have for education, they have for everything. And this guy's squeezing out stuff. He needs to keep doing it. We need to get healthcare done. Healthcare is a big thing for me. They got to get it done. I feel bad for people that don't have coverage. You walk into a hospital like, oh my God, how do I pay this? Their kid is sick and I can't pay this. You know what I mean? It's just wrong.
Yeah. And then we end up paying for it. Dave, there have been calls for generational change in leadership, basically some Democrats challenging the incumbents. How do you view the balance between experience, people who have been there, people who have been done that, people who have been on the front lines, and fresh perspectives for the Republican Party?
What would you deem fresh perspectives?
Can you say that question again, please?
Just newer faces, new blood instead of the old guard, like
Right.
Lindsey Graham gone, like bringing someone younger in to replace him, someone with.
Well, Marco Rubio is a leader that's young. JD Vance is a leader that's young. There are other guys that are leaders that are young. I think that
You think we have enough of them right now?
I don't know if we have enough of them. I don't know if we have enough of them.
Do you think they're beneficial, or do you think having someone with more experience is beneficial than the less experienced?
It really depends on the person. Marco Rubio is probably the best mix of that. DeSantis is probably a pretty good mix of that, although he's got his own issues here and there. But like, so does JD Vance. Has got his own issues here or there. Like, listen, I think here's
like Byron Donalds. I like Byron Donalds in Florida.
I think the Republicans do need to get in order. Is this? They have to get a hold on the fringes that are trying to hijack the party. Okay, the nut jobs like Nick Fuentes and what's her name, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson. I think they're fucking nuts. I think those guys, they might have a nice thing here or there. I think they're fucking nuts because everything that they have is so far to the right and so far out in the fringe that you're not gonna win an election after Trump if you allow that group to hijack the party. Period. End of story. And that's a problem because it feeds into the same exact things that people already fear to a certain extent with Republicans, that they're way too far. Like, I'm pretty far to the right. Like, I mean, Candace and fucking Nick Fuentes are lunatics, okay? In their they're so far out of the realm, okay? And so, like, and they cover. See, this is the thing that I have an issue with. When people just spew anything, okay, and they just spew they just spew every crazy conspiracy, every nonsense thing.
Tyler King
does, okay, and I love Tyler King, but it's not. It doesn't advance sanity in order to get solutions done. Okay. When you go around pointing the finger at this person and that person and this person, and it has nothing, and a lot of times it's within your own party. Okay. It's crazy. I think Candace's whole thing going after Erica Kirk is the most lunatic,
crazy
nonsense thing I have ever seen. And I don't give a shit whether she is the most loyal wife or not the most loyal wife, or how she grieves, right? Or who the fuck cares? Like,
it's none of your business.
It's
none of your goddamn business. She lost her husband. She has kids.
Yeah,
you're going to attack a widow with kids?
I mean, it's so nuts because people jump on board with this stuff.
Oh,
so that, you know, it's the same thing. Like, it's the same thing. You know, it's everything's the Mossad. Okay, I mean, that's just so stupid. It's so stupid. Okay, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy to me to say these things. There are good people and bad people in all walks of life and all situations, okay? But when you over demonize an individual like she's trying to do to Erica Kirk, all you're doing is fracturing Turning Point, okay?
Yeah.
You're fracturing what was the leading group
your husband built
for conservatives. You don't like the way she's running things? You should have married Charlie Kirk. Then you would be the one who would be running Turning Point. Like,
exactly.
That's how the world works, lady. It's absurd. But see, what happens is the way the media is, the
Oh.
way that people are, the fringes get the most attention.
I hate the
Okay.
media.
The most far fringes on the left get the most attention. The far fringes on the right get a lot of attention, right? And people that's why I love Mark Rubio, man. Like he's trying to solve problems, okay, the best he can. I think JD Vance is very good. I think he has great potential. I think aligning himself with Tucker Carlson because he has his son working with him. I think those things are dangerous. And I don't mean dangerous like someone's going to get killed dangerous. I mean dangerous to the success of the Republican Party, okay? I could sit there on a podcast and spout every lunatic thing that I might think throughout the course of the day and get more viewers. How does that help the world? How does that help the world advance the situation? You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's lunacy,
You want this big?
and a little bigger screen would be cool. That's not it. There we go. That's awesome. Now I can see. I'm sorry, I'm blind. Yeah, I think it's lunacy. I think you're right. It's clickbait. They just want to increase their
They just want views and
viewership and clicks and follows and all that garbage.
So they say
And
stupid
so
shit.
they're going to say whatever they feel needs to be said with no repercussions. And the problem is that there's a segment of the population that will cling on to that and hold it to dear life and believe everything that is said. Sort of reminds me of what was a school in Connecticut when Alex Jones said it's all
Yep.
farce. There
Same,
are no
same.
Sandy Hook.
Hook.
Oh, when he
No.
got sued for it too.
All a farce. Sir, no death. Sir, no children.
no kids got shot.
Alex, you're talking about people's families being lost. How can you say there's conspiracies, there's no
Day
deaths,
after
there's no
day after day.
It's insanity.
You want to think it, you think whatever the fuck.
9/11 too.
Fine.
Jesus.
Okay. When you go out there and you have a gigantic platform,
Yes, you have a
and
responsibility.
you have said a lot of things. Listen, I've listened to Alex Jones. There's a lot of things that Alex Jones has said that I may have agreed with.
Right.
What happens is they rope you in with stuff that you do agree with. Okay. All of these guys. Like there are things that Tucker said that I agree with. There are things that Kansas said that I agree with. They rope you in with that stuff and then spew nonsense because people will say, well, I agreed with them on this. I agreed with them on this. I agreed with them on this. And then they throw this curveball out there and they think that these people have some sort of extra knowledge. They got no knowledge.
They got to be
They have
right.
zero inside information.
They got to be right.
Zero.
Yeah, they're like
Zero.
cult leaders. They're cult leaders. They
They're not
basically
even cult leaders. They
reel
just
you in.
spew things. And it's the same thing that people on the left spew, right? And when they do this in the far left and out in the fringes. And listen, here's the thing. People do get elected in some of these far situations. So if you're in a pure Democratic state, that's how you get an Ilhan Omar in. Okay? You have someone who lives out in the fringes like she does. She's in an area where you can get elected in that situation. You get elected. Now you're actually in power. So now more people say maybe she knows what she's talking about. She got elected, right?
Exactly.
These are the things that and this happens a little. It's for the first time happening a little bit on the right, okay? Not extensively like it's happened on the left, but it's starting to happen on the right. And I think that the thing is Trump has the right path. And that's why I think he has to, like you talked about, he's got to address some of the healthcare solutions, some of the small business item things. He's got to address for people what artificial intelligence is going to mean for us. Okay. And listen, there's a lot of things that are many years away. There are some things that are right away.
around the corner. Yeah.
Okay. Right away. So we have to start address those things. And I don't think, I'll use, for example, NVIDIA. I don't know if you know who they are. They're the biggest chip maker in AI. Okay.
Correct.
And then OpenAI, which is ChatGPT, they were in a battle for what the pricing should be. Okay. What immediately happens when you have monopolistic tendencies with there's like only like 3 AI companies that are at the highest level? The
Correct.
stock market is severely affected immediately. Nvidia drops 10 points. Okay. Who knows what ChatGPT's because they're private, so what their private sales prices now goes to. These things affect real people. So what happens is when hardworking people put their money into these situations, and then when you get in these monopolistic situations where few people control everything, it's no different than oligarchs that start to become in power in Russia. Okay, they start to dictate government policy. And those are things that concern me. Like those things that concern me. I think AI is great. There's a lot of things that can be great with it.
Yeah.
What are we starting to do to solve these things? We need to solve those things from a self-defense standpoint. You know what I mean? Like, what does that mean for us from self-defense?
Yeah.
I'm talking about our country. You know, we probably have more technology than almost everybody else, maybe other than China. But what does that mean? You know, like how does that protect us? You know,
Dave, we made Cuban military defense people that were there in Caracas, Venezuela, who were defending Maduro. We made them bleed from their eyes and their nose with the sonic. Well, there must have been a subsonic signal that was sent out that paralyzed troops.
We have that?
Yes.
What? Have you seen the video? Me and Frank live on these videos.
That's from Stranger Things. Stranger Things.
Yes, kind of. Yeah, kind of.
They have a sonic boom.
I only watch real
It was
things.
a sonic boom. It was a sonic boom.
Right.
Like scenario.
I want to get one.
They came in with these helicopters. They released some sort of sonic boom something. They paralyzed the people. They were bleeding, right? They had tremendous pain. They were debilitated. They literally walked through. Like they didn't have to there's some people they end up having to kill, but they, for the most part, they walked right through.
And just got Maduro and his wife.
Grabbed Maduro and his wife.
That was brilliant.
It was
walked
like
right out.
Remember Darth Vader when he would just go and put his hand out there,
Yes.
and the guy would be choking to death like that? That's exactly what they did right there, right?
Yes.
That's exactly what they
That's
did.
exactly what they did.
That's a good thing. That's good.
No, that is a good thing. That is a good thing. Those are things that are good things. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying, there is the artificial intelligence and there are things that are good things. But I'm saying that, like, my point is that's why you have to wrangle in these fringes, okay? Because these fringes, it's not about being in the middle, okay? I think you need to, I think being to the right, healthy wise, the left is crazy. The more they can move to the middle, probably the better. But the far right, it just muddies the waters. It confuses people, and it takes us away from the areas that we need to move in.
The goals.
The far left, that's kind of the far left has hijacked the Democratic Party, and now they're in control.
Yeah,
that you don't want that to happen on the Republican side, because when a group like that hijack, you have anarchy. If both ends are hijacking the narrative, okay, because the social media, those things kind of favor that, right?
They do.
If they both hijack the narrative, then what you have is two groups that are completely polar opposite of each other, fighting. They're really the same in the sense that they're both crazy, but they're fighting against each other in this crazy manner. Close the door, then, Nicole.
One's trying to distract the other, and the Democrats are trying to distract.
They end up just fighting in the streets, dude.
You can't get nothing done in this country. Number one, voting is so atrociously compromised. You're a perfect example. Wisconsin has had 9 million votes in the election. I think they only had 7 million registered voters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, it's stuff like that where it's like, come on, how is this possible? How does this get away with it? But bottom line, there are subversive people and organizations and groups that the vote matters immensely to them as far as their wealth.
Yeah,
And so,
exactly.
and so all they're doing is swaying people and votes and dumping money. And why would they give Kamala Harris $1.5 billion to run a campaign with? The only reason why is they did not
Because
want
they didn't
Trump
want to
in.
lose the money.
Well, no, they didn't want Trump in because they lost all the money, but they knew Trump was just going to go in and flip the switch.
Yeah.
He promised it, and they know that he keeps his promises. So, it's just so hard. How do you? Everyone says, "Oh, the Republicans stole the election because there's no way all the swing states voted for him." Yeah, there's definitely
enough
way.
is enough.
There's definitely people were fed up with the 4 years of the Biden administration, fed up to the point where it was sickening. That's why they voted for Trump.
There was nothing positive about the Biden administration
Nothing.
except more illegals got let into this country. So if voters go to the polls in November, feeling, because the economy has been up and down, and they feel this economic unease, or some of the policies, they're dissatisfied with it, what message do you think will resonate most to earn or retain their trust?
Tax returns.
Tax returns.
Yeah, big beautiful bill promises a lowering of your money going out to the federal government.
You mean income tax?
Income tax returns, right? So let's say you file by April 15th or whatever the deadline is. I think it's April 15th, and you get your returns back, and you pay a lot less money to the federal government.
That would earn trust.
That would earn trust in
I agree.
in Trump and the administration as far as what they promised was going to happen. If you are paying more, then you don't get that trust.
No.
So I think that's a big factor. I think the campaigning should focus on that. The campaigning should focus on what's being returned to the average American family that in that low to middle class as far as a tax return.
Yeah.
And I think that goes a long ways. Gas is gas. The president really doesn't have a direct effect on fuel costs, besides releasing the reserves like Biden did, and depleting the reserves. But bottom line, I think a beautiful tax return coming back to them, like in the thousands, you're going to get instead of paying. That would be a huge boon. Also, maybe a meeting of the middle ground of what we just talked about 20 minutes ago of ICE and how we go about gathering information on illegal, dangerous illegals, right? Yeah. Which I expected was going to happen sooner or later. So this is no surprise. Those two things right there. And then after that, if you're talking about a cost of living, I know they're trying to work on housing on that, and there's not going to be much of a resolution on that. But if there's anything that could be done towards the cost of living, as far as it reducing before the elections, and they can show that on paper, that's a big plus as well. I think this $1,000 into every kid's account is a big thing. I think they're all positive steps that you can promote and say right. And then typical example they could do right now is with Spanberger in Virginia. The governor of Virginia winning this election and promising the world to these Virginians. And within the first 3 weeks that she's been there, they've raised taxes through the roof on almost every feasible taxable item there is in the state. Beyond
you can say whatever you want when you're campaigning.
Beyond a reasonable doubt.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, literally, if I could show you, I can pull it up to online and show you just the amount of taxes that they put on all different items in that state. As far as listen, your food deliveries coming to your house, much higher tax now on that. You're going to be paying more. Yeah. And the item list goes on and on and on as far as services that are going to be taxed at a higher rate. And the reason being is they can't do what they want to do without more of your money. See, they could function as they're functioning right now, and the services that are there are enough. But they want to give more away. They want to fund more public services, more statewide services to the people that need it. But in turn, they're going to bleed dry the people that have it. And so that's the conundrum. That's the great physical divide between Republican and Democrat, is that at some point, when does a Democrat going to turn Republican and conservative with his cash because he's tired of getting bled dry after he works the 40, 50 hours a week and the other people are doing nothing?
Dave, what were your thoughts on the same thing? Like, what can be done to earn trust with voters when they go in November to vote for the election, either with their party or against their party? And you mentioned AI because AI right now is the biggest boom on Wall Street. There are more new AI companies being set up and, looking for public, buyers, people to buy stock in them. AI is just blowing up, and that's what's hurting sometimes the market.
Well, I think the key thing is what the Republicans do: address healthcare,
Yes.
address small businesses, continue to do a good job with what we're doing overseas in all these other countries, improve the way that we're handling ICE, and communicate better as to what the objectives are of ICE. I think that's a big deal.
Yeah.
I think people can get on board with you going after criminals. Okay. I think people will, there's no point in getting overly crazy about the maid who is illegal.
Exactly.
Why are we going to take her into custody?
She's no threat.
Doesn't make sense. Let's get all the criminals first. If we get all the criminals first, and then you say, hey, we still need to, deport some illegal immigrants because it's not, then I would say you could go about it possibly. But until you gotten all the criminals out, I just don't see it.
And isn't that what Jimmy said last week, that crime is down?
Crime is at a 100-year low. It's at a 100-year low.
That's important to emphasize.
Violent crime is down at a 100-year low.
Yes,
I agree with that too, Dave. That's a great point to bring up on that.
I brought that up.
Oh, you did. Oh, I apologize. I apologize, Steve, to you. Dave should have brought that up. He's smarter than you, so he should have brought that up.
I didn't bring it up.
Bottom line,
it was my AI.
Great point to bring up on that, and that does make a difference. People do see that, and they do feel that. They do feel safer. But again, people think with their wallets first, because that's always the daily mental squeeze. Is their wallet, right? So I don't know. Something's got to what to show on that. He's got to show something on that, because that's going to be if the house flips, you'll have 2 years of nothing. Nothing.
So Dave, just basically, if you had to grade our country on what we've done in foreign affairs and then what we've done in our own country, how would you grade us?
Foreign affairs, I would say probably A-.
I would agree with that.
With domestic issues,
domestic problems,
I would say B.
Yeah. Frank,
were we talking foreign? You said, or would you say foreign or domestic?
Foreign and domestic.
Foreign and domestic.
How would you grade us?
Yeah, maybe like a B+. I would say it can't be an A because of what's happening right now in the streets. I mean, I think that's one thing that's tarnishing.
No. In foreign,
domestic. You said foreign and domestic.
Oh, so
I thought you're combining.
First.
Oh, you
no,
weren't.
No, he said one and the other.
I apologize. Foreign. The foreign's an A.
Yeah,
without a doubt. I think it's been great policies and great structure on that. Domestic. I like this. I like the movement with the National Guard in cities. I love the strengthening the border and making it tighter than hell is fantastic. I'm going to say I'll say B+ for domestic without a doubt.
Yeah, I agree with you. Foreign's an A. Domestic, I really give a C to. I think we've done a great job with immigration and deporting the illegals, but we have caused there's so many issues and problems that we're ignoring and we're not taking care of. We're going to Venezuela, we're getting Maduro, that's great. Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Palestine, Iran. We're doing all that
But
stuff.
that's all foreign.
That's all foreign.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. We're not taking care of the critical issues at home.
Right.
And that is what's so frustrating.
What throw one issue. What's critical?
What's critical? I mean, they're right now. Minnesota is like another country.
Right.
The violence.
Right now, so you're giving him a bad rating, or you're giving the administration a C rating.
I think
that.
yeah.
And so the blame for that goes where?
I blame everyone in our government for that. You're ignoring issues at home. Just like you said, the Affordable Care Act. The government's about to shut down twice.
Yeah, right.
It's going to be twice in the last 4 months.
Right,
We're having a government shutdown.
But so you have to separate the administration from the politicians from the state governments. Okay, his administration dictates what he would like the policy of this country to be. The federal government dictates what they would love the policy to be. The lawmakers, which all sit on Capitol Hill, vote on all those policies.
Correct.
And try
the House and the Senate,
to allow some of those to come through to fruition. So some don't. Some don't need a vote. The president can do that. And then the state lawmakers, like your governors and your mayors, control policy, that federal policy, whether it goes into implementation in the state. Because if you see in New York State right now, there's no tax on tips and tax on overtime. No, it's not working in New York State.
No.
Kathy Hochul said, "Fuck that."
No, she did.
Right. So you got to rate what the federal government has done higher than a C. But you have to rate the
implementation of it.
Congress is an F.
Okay.
And the states that are being stubborn and causing opposition to the federal government are an F.
Yes, 100%.
They're Fs across the board. So I don't know. I don't blame the president on any of this right now. They are trying to implement it as far as he can push it. But again, we're not a dictatorship. We are a republic. And so we do have voting on a lot of these things. The federal government is trying to bypass as much as they can because they know that if it goes to vote,
they lose.
They don't lose. It just takes for fucking ever.
It takes forever.
And nothing gets accomplished. When you go to the Hill,
and there's filibusters.
You might as well just waste your time. Yeah, that's what you're doing. You're wasting your time.
The executive orders were all good.
Yeah, right. Executive order, you're going to get stuff done.
Yeah,
so
you should just write more of that.
That's where I feel right now. That's where there's never been a time in the country, I think, where governors have really been as impactful as now, because all they're doing is obviously everything is to impede what the federal government's plan is for the country.
It's all because they hate Trump.
Listen. They didn't do this to Obama.
No, or Biden.
They didn't do this to Obama.
Until they found Biden with dementia.
Funny thing I saw, Dave, on social media today, a guy who's an independent. He really doesn't follow any party, Republican or Democrat, conservative or liberal. He's brought out, he wanted to go over the ICE-involved shootings or killings since Obama started in office. Okay. So he looked it up, but he did an AI search. And AI search came back with this information. Under the Obama administration, incomplete data. We can't find it. Under Trump's first administration, 36 incidents, so-and-so, detailed. Under the Biden administration, incomplete data. We cannot find it.
Right.
Under the current administration, 12 incidents, this, they got it all.
We got it all.
So if people can't see how everything is being manipulated, by liberal entities, okay, and from Facebook on down. I mean, Zuckerberg, now supposedly he's a little more in the middle guy. Zuckerberg was the most liberal guy out there. Censoring everything, right? So, and Twitter was censoring everything.
Post anything.
So bottom line, if people don't see that, then you're blind, and that you're a sheep. You're a sheep to the DNC.
A lemon.
You're a sheep, right? You're a sheep to weak-minded people and
ignorant, willfully ignorant,
and that allows you to not have a full vision of what is actually going on day to day in this country.
Yeah, Dave, that was the last thing I wanted to say. It's just like, we're doing some great things, but in our own country, there is still, it seems like a huge divide, and it's only widening. It's only becoming worse. It's only becoming more violent. and it's on the verge. I mean, we're sending in the National Guard for this shit. I mean, people won't let ICE do their jobs, and ICE doing their jobs makes all our lives easier. So that's what blows my mind, and that's what I wanted to say. And what did you want to say about the Somali bananas? Was that a joke?
Yeah. So no, there was an interview with a Somali woman who said that she got thrown to the ground by ICE agents, and then she came to the.
I did too. Okay.
Yeah, she did a news interview. She had a Band-Aid underneath her headdress, and she was talking, but she's regular English. It wasn't like she was a native. She was probably a U.S. citizen who just all of a sudden took her Somali heritage and started becoming a Somali because the money was there.
Maybe I'm Somali.
So she's talking and she's like, well, this isn't just, people don't understand. They just think Somalia is just about bananas and rice. It's not just about bananas and rice. I mean, we are
of course not.
Smart people.
We're great in child
and she
care.
said banana and rice like over 5 or 6 times.
And
so there's, so we're going to have, I think we're working on something special for the banana.
Let's have
Somali
banana and rice day.
Yeah, no, we're going to have something special. We're gonna have something to hawk online here. We're gonna make a tremendous amount of money on something that we're gonna put out that'll have a little bit of the Somali life with banana and rice.
And Dave, I just wanted to ask you, what did you think of Giants co-owner Steve Tisch being caught in Epstein?
I saw that.
And should he be forced to sell the team? Or sell his portion?
He was caught interacting with him, right?
He was caught interacting. He claims he never had any relations with anyone. It was just talk. But the emails are very provocative.
There's a CBS reporter that's caught in it too, I think.
Yeah. There's several people. Yes, but I just wanted your
Ted
thought.
Koppel. No, he was ABC.
I just wanted
Dan Rather. Is it Dan Rather?
He's dead, isn't he?
I don't know.
I saw the guy's name earlier, but I can't think of who it was. But I don't know.
Here's my problem with it all, Dave. Here's my problem. So you got a bunch of documentation, emails, letters, whatever it is. Okay, you got all these people, everybody's involved.
Working girls,
anybody. Yeah. But you have no physical evidence that anything ever happened. Right,
and it was years ago.
Right. Meanwhile, we have the video of Luigi Mangione blowing the brains out of that healthcare president, CEO, right on the street, and they say they take away the death penalty. I mean, come on. It could be the best evidence in the world, and people won't believe it if they don't believe in that. If they believe in that person's cause. So nobody believes in the cause of Jeffrey Epstein or any of the people that are involved with it. So it's automatically everyone's guilty, no matter what. Right. I mean, whether you're on a flight log list, whether you've made a phone call to him, whether you bought some stock shares from him, whatever the hell he does, investment, or whether you're Mossad. I mean, all of Mossad must be guilty with Epstein.
Well, Tyler says you're all
because he's an agent, right? Because he's an operative for Mossad. So, bottom line, until you can have proof, physical proof,
you can't do anything.
The only one that I believe here's the only one that I believe. Actually, a couple of them. I don't know, just one. I'm going to say one. I was just is Bill Clinton, because we have physical evidence. We have the load that he left on Monica Lewinsky's dress.
Was great. He tested it. He shot a thick one. It was big.
So we know we have a guy who probably. I mean, you can assume that he did it.
The opportunity's there.
After that, I can't put a finger on anybody just because maybe the Prince Charles. Who's the guy's who's the guy from England? They just stripped him of his title. Yeah, is it not? I don't know. I don't know his name. Maybe that guy, because he seemed like he was really chummy with him and all that. But after that, these people are going to an island.
No proof.
You have no proof. They're going to an island.
Unless Maxwell testifies or something.
She did. She already gave all her information.
Well, I mean, if she gave something up on Tisch and said, "Yeah, I set him up with so and so," but none of the women will testify.
Why wasn't the name before?
No, I agree.
Why wasn't all that name before?
I agree.
And this is something that is so deep into the American and international society okay, that the tentacles are in everywhere, and if one person goes
Yes,
down,
the
they're all going to go down.
It's the octopus.
And so this will be defended to the tooth and nail by everyone. Everyone's Trump Trump threw the baby in the Lake Michigan, and Trump
Maybe he did. Maybe he did.
Oh God, this is bullshit. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit. They will make up anything to take this guy down.
Yes.
This, whether you like him or
Trump
not,
sodomized the cat.
I'm not a MAGA person, but this guy
I'm a
is
misogynist.
incredible.
Yes.
He's incredible, Dave. He has survived attacks on his character, attacks on his family, attacks on his marriage, attacks on his child, on his children, attacks on his business. He's been shot at twice. Shot at once, and then the second one was getting ready to blast
twice.
He's been impeached twice. He's had 34 felonies from a bullshit lawsuit. Anything they can do,
they do.
They did.
They throw at him.
Right. So, and now he threw a baby in Lake Michigan. He was grabbing whores from Epstein. He had, he was probably blowing lines.
He sodomized the cat.
Blowing lines with coke. Yeah, he did a cat. He did everything. Anything that they can try to get this guy on, they will invent anything to get him on. And still, he's survived. He's a survivor.
Still here.
He's a survivor.
He's still here. All right, Dave. So, I mean, you think, like what Frank says, no solid proof, Tisch should not be forced to sell the team or anything.
Yeah. I mean,
unless someone comes forward.
You want him to sell the team because he wanted some women?
I didn't. ESPN and the
ESPN wants him to sell the team because he wanted some women.
They just want to get rid of all the old people. ESPN,
right.
Well, no, ESPN and the Athletic. I read 2 articles.
Yeah, they're also leftists.
He should be forced to sell the team. His percentage.
Why?
Because of this scandal.
But what scandal? What was the scandal?
Because Daniel Snyder did something similar, and he. Had to sell the team. They forced him.
Sure.
And Jerry Richardson of the Panthers.
What Daniel Snyder did was he was an asshole and he ran the Redskins into the ground. That was the problem with Daniel Snyder. Okay. Now,
the picture of the cheerleaders.
Well, the picture of cheerleaders. That's okay. Well, what are the cheerleaders there for? They're there to entertain the guests. Okay. All right. Well, so what did Tisch do? What did he do wrong?
They caught him in emails directly to Epstein, asking about girls.
For what? Asking about girls.
Saying, how old is this one? Is she a working girl or a clean girl?
Right. He wants to know. As long as they're legal.
Conversation.
Yeah, as long as they're legal.
They were.
Then he's not in trouble.
It said that they were legal.
You don't think when I was young, I'd walk into a place and go, how old is that girl over there? I really don't want to go to jail, but she's pretty cute.
Do we say that now?
No, you can't say anything now. But
no, I mean, do you think that now?
No.
Oh, okay.
What the fuck do I need it for? But bottom line, what are people? What is the average person in the country doing? Of course, they're doing that.
Yeah,
of course, they're asking how old is she? Who? Where does she live?
Yeah,
you got her number? Can I get her digits? That's all.
Yeah,
it's a bullshit. They wanted to sell the team. Get the
no. I'm serious. They wanted to sell the portion. So, Dave, you agree that he shouldn't have to sell the team?
I don't think it makes sense
until something unless something more comes forward, like a person or more evidence that's concrete, not just the emails.
You have to actually have him having relationships with underage women.
Correct. Right. I agree.
Tisch, they do.
This is my.
No, he said unless they do.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
This is my point with all these things. The right was trying. Some people on the right were trying to throw that at Trump. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, they were
evidence to this stuff.
They were. Like, you're right.
I mean,
he was with the prostitute there, or the stripper, whatever her name was, Stormy Daniels. Oh yeah. He was okay. So what?
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
Paid her.
I was with a prostitute.
He paid her. You got to pay prostitutes. That's how they make their money.
Yeah.
He paid her.
Free and clear.
Not the first, and he's not the last.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Remember Kennedy?
Well,
I heard Bobby Kennedy was worse.
Well, Kennedy had Marilyn Monroe. So.
Yeah, but I heard Bobby Kennedy was worse.
You can't beat it.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
remember Clinton?
Well, Monica Lewinsky. Yeah, I mean,
he had other ones too. You know, he had.
He did.
Oh, sure, he did. He had to have.
He doesn't. Oh, yeah. The other one.
He doesn't rest his laurels on just one in turn.
The ginger one, the redheaded one. Donna Jones, whatever her name was. I can't remember.
He had him, right? Yeah, come on. What president doesn't?
Okay.
FDR.
FDR.
Yeah, in the wheelchair. He must have had someone service him.
There was no Cialis.
He was
back then.
paralyzed. He was paralyzed.
Yeah, there was no Cialis back
No, you
then.
don't got to do nothing. You just got to fondle the balls a little bit, and you're all set.
Oh, okay.
No, you got to be anything crazy. Teddy Roosevelt.
What?
That's why do you think they call him the Rough Rider?
You wrote it rough.
Rather rough. He was a Rough Rider.
Teddy Roosevelt?
Yeah,
Really?
Teddy Roosevelt. Sure, he must have had somebody.
So you're saying, and like Richard Nixon too?
Huh?
Maybe.
Nixon. If you're called Tricky Dick, wouldn't you want to get women? Of course, he had a lot of women. He's Tricky Dick.
Reagan?
Reagan, absolutely.
He was an actor.
He was
yeah.
a movie actor. They loved him. They fawned all over him. George Washington. Why do you think he crossed the Delaware? There were whores on the other side. He needed women.
Okay. All right. Well, another banner episode of
That would be a good T-shirt. Why do you think George Washington?
We'll have it made. We'll put it on the website.
Why did he wash
For
it
the whores.
Why did he wash it across the Delaware for whores?
We'll put it on the. On your, we'll get it and sell it on your website, Dave.
Shirt.
All right, another banner episode of
That might get more bought by Democrats than Republicans.
Right, yeah, because
was George Washington a Republican or it doesn't matter.
At the time, he was.
Yeah,
not,
he was
yeah.
like a Whig or something.
Yeah, no.
Okay. With another banner episode of Rebel Republic and the voice of the reason.
Yeah.
Frank Cristiano.
I spewed it out. It's all reasonable.
He spewed it out.
It all sounded
Spewed it
reasonable.
out. Yeah, we got from Teddy Roosevelt, FDR, who was in a wheelchair, and there's no Cialis.
People are rough riding.
Yeah.
Right.
And
What do you think all those Asians in the intern camps are doing? They were pleasuring FDR. There's a massage parlor.
Wow. I got to look into that.
No?
All right. And Coach Schumann, who's
Yes.
ready to go. I'm Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe.
Abe Lincoln.
Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges, throw them back at life. And I'm Steve Cully. I'm running for Congress.
You're running for Congress. Oh, God.